Violent protests over California train shooting. Violent protests over the fatal shooting of an unarmed black man by a Bay Area rapid transit police officer turned violent Wednesday night as demonstrators smashed windows, set fire to cars, and blocked the streets. A few hundred or so protesters took to the streets of downtown Oakland to condemn the shooting and call for criminal charges against the 27-year-old police officer. Oakland police arrested at least 105 protesters on charges that include assault on a police officer, looting, vandalism, arson, and many other charges, the Oakland Tribune has reported. The police officer resigned from the transit agency shortly before he was supposed to be interviewed by investigators. He has not yet explained why he fatally shot a 22-year-old resident of Hayward as he lay face down on a BART station platform on New Year's Day. Police say the police officer in question was one of several officers or a group of officers responding to reports about groups of men fighting on a train. The man that was shot, a supermarket worker, was unarmed when he was shot in the back, according to police. The Alameda County Coroner's Office said Wednesday that the bullet fired by the police officer apparently went through him and then ricocheted off the concrete platform before re-entering his body. It was the ricochet wound that killed him. Protesters gathered in the afternoon at the Fruitvale BART station where the shooting occurred. It was peaceful at first, but then it took a turn for the worse after a splinter group left that site and marched downtown. Protesters set fire to trash containers and tried to overturn a police car, smashing out the windows. Police then attempted to disperse the crowd, and smaller groups of protesters then marched to different areas. Some protesters threw bottles and rocks, smashing a window of a fast food restaurant and other downtown stores. At least 3 cars or more were set on fire, and many other vehicles were damaged. Many other protesters expressed anger, rage, and frustration at the police and what they called society's injustice and society's racial injustices. But as the demonstrations continued, the protesters frequently targeted the business, cars, and homes of people who had nothing to do with any of that, and without regard to race. Police in riot gear threw tear gas to try to break up the demonstration, and the crowd started to become more agitated, more hostile. They became frenzied and started throwing stuff at the police, yelling and screaming, Oakland police spokesman Jeff Tomlinson has said. We gave a dispersal order 4 to 5 times over a 20-minute period. Then we had our officers go in and start making arrests for, I guess, anything and everything. Somehow America is turning into a police state nation in many ways. Ever since 9/11, something has gone wrong, something has happened. And all this is tied into the economic situation, the political situations or arena, the seemingly unending wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and all of the other violence going on around the world. All these things are connected or interconnected somehow. But the police, they must be held responsible or accountable also. Earlier, Oakland Mayor Ron Dellums, a longtime congressman, went to the protest scene to urge demonstrators to remain calm. He and several council members then led a group toward City Hall and again tried to address them. He said, "Even with our anger and our pain, let's still address each other with a degree of civility and calmness, and not make this tragedy an excuse to engage in more violence." He said, "I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want any more people killed." The man's family that was shot has filed a $25 million wrongful death claim against B.A.R.T and want prosecutors to file criminal charges against the policemen. That does sound the reasonable thing to do in a civilized society. A B.A.R.T spokesman told the Chronicle that transit officials had expected to hear the police officer's side or account of the shooting on Wednesday. But instead, the officer's attorney and the president of B.A.R.T's police union appeared and gave officials just a short resignation letter from the B.A.R.T officer. That's it. "We were prepared to compel him to talk, but then he just resigned," the spokesman told the newspaper. "We're going to continue the investigation somehow, with or without him." Supposedly, there are many investigations that go on without the key player, key person, if that makes any sense. The Chronicle, quoting a source familiar with the investigation, also has reported that B.A.R.T is looking into whether the police officer in question mistook his service weapon for a taser stun gun, among many other possibilities, whatever that means. Still, yes, police officers should be held accountable. They're not above the law. And in America or the United States, the police have been given more authority than they should have in many cases. And yes, it's all connected to everything else. Oakland police, meanwhile, were bracing for another protest on Thursday outside B.A.R.T headquarters. The Oakland Tribune reported that the department planned to put additional officers in riot gear on the streets in an effort to prevent a repeat of Wednesday's sudden violence. And yes, once again, all these things are connected to something else that's bigger. It's bigger than all this. There is something going on in the United States. This country is in trouble, and it's not the same country that it used to be. No. It's going down the wrong path or the wrong road in so many ways. And everything is connected in the sense that these things, they don't turn out good. This is not a good sign. Because all this can create more anarchy or make more chaos and confusion, which leads to the end of civilization or humanity as we know it. If you keep pushing people, then in response, well, that's just the way it is. And again, all these are more signs of the end times transition days. There is a big transition going on around the world. That's what's wrong with the economic crisis, the mortgage meltdown, Wall Street, well, and the weather too. The political, the social, everything is connected again. And all these are more signs. And it's going on all around us every day, day by day.